Hello? Dr. Hall? Mason! It's been a while. How was your trip? It was great. I got some relaxing time to myself, which was very needed. Met a couple friends, learned some languages. I even met a perfect woman. Oh, a woman, eh? Well, that's good news. Come, have a seat. Thanks, Doc. Any calls? About what? Well, your brother, of course. Ah, yeah, Marcus. Honestly, I didn't even visit or talk to him since I was 15. Was it that bad? Very much so. Well, why don't we talk about your past with your brother? Where do I even start with that? Well, when Marcus and I were kids, I was always a good child, or at least I tried to be. He was very hard to deal with. If I could say, at a rainy night, I overheard my parents in a serious fight with each other, and I was really scared. I got up and shook Marcus to wake him up. I was panicking, you see. Marcus was a hard fight. He was worried, as I was, because we cared about our mother, so we were afraid that she would get hurt. As we snuck our way to the main room, Father was beating our mother to the ground. That drunken bastard was hurting her really bad. I even saw blood on his fist. It's okay, just take your time. It's alright, I'm fine. We saw blood on his fist, and there was a lot of it. I don't know there's blood. I was too scared to do anything on my own, but I noticed Marcus eyeballing the gun. It was dropped on the floor. He immediately ran towards it. I tried to catch him so he wouldn't do anything stupid. He was always a rash kid. Always just ran into things without even thinking. But he beat me there. He grabbed it off the floor, held it with two of his hands, and aimed it at my father. My dad looked at him. A very serious, threatening look that he always gave to people when he tried to make him submit to him. Marcus looked back at him with hatred. My dad said to him, "Don't even, boy. Your mother had it coming." I can see the anger in my brother's eyes. And my dad continued, saw him slowly lean his head towards the gun with a smile. "You really want to shoot me, do you? Go ahead, pull the fucking trigger, pull it!" After he yelled that, Marcus pulled the trigger, and it just clicks. There was no bullet in the gun. Then his angered face had a slight bit of fear to it. There was a crack in his bravado. That stone-cold bravado that my father always had, and it cracked. I saw my dad smack the gun out of his hand. He started gripping his neck tightly. I couldn't stand watching my father killing my brother, so I immediately ran and grabbed the gun. Back, and bang. My father froze, let go of my brother's neck, gasped for air. My father slightly turns to look at me in the eyes. His eyes widened, and fell next to Marcus, with his open. Sorry, with his hands open, Marcus immediately got up and then on the floor, taking deep breaths as he gasped for air. "I thought you said that the gun was empty." I thought it was too at first. Turns out only that chamber of the revolver was empty. He must have only partly loaded it or something, I don't know. By all means, continue. And after he regained his breath, he looked at me, saying how scared that I was. I had tears in my eyes. I felt his hand on my shoulder, and he said to me in a serious tone, "Pack your things. Let's get out of here." I cried. I cried so hard, swearing that I didn't mean it, that we didn't mean to do what I did. But he just looked at me again and said, "Hey, you did what you had to do. Now wipe those tears, pack up, let's go." My God. I'm so sorry, Mason. I had no idea that it was this bad between everything. No worries. Things always happen for a reason, I guess, Doc. I don't get it, though. If you killed your father, why is your brother more violent? You know, he's just like his father. I still remember that day when he got adopted. We had great foster parents. Their names were Griffin and Linda, the Andersons. I couldn't have been more happy in my life with them. But Marcus, well, not so much. See, when we first saw them in a foster home, they were really friendly towards us. I was so excited that they would adopt us when I looked at Marcus. To my right, there was no smile on his face. In his face, I only saw a look that made me worry. Later on, we arrived at their home. They have a daughter, who was our little foster sister. Her name was Jasmine. She's a sweetheart and a funny girl. After a couple hours, I was chatting and playing games with the Andersons. Me and Jasmine saw Marcus just sitting outside on the porch alone. We were worried for him, so we decided to go out and chat with him. Jasmine asked him, "Hey, why are you sitting out here? Come hang with us." Marcus said in an attitude towards her, "With you? You're not worth my time. So go and play with your family that we don't deserve." I say to him, "Marcus, don't be rude. Our family." He interrupted me, though. They aren't our family. Grow the hell up. Griffin must have overheard this, so he came over and checked up on us. "Hey, what's going on?" he asked Marcus. But Marcus just got up and went to his room without another word. I let out a sigh and said, "It's nothing. I'm sure he'll get better." Now, I know that you're curious of our school, what our school is like. When we first started there, well, as we walked into the building, I can see the students already judging and giggling at us. What we were wearing, how we acted, specifically where we live. So they mocked our, at the time, Irish accents. As you can see, I've, for the most part, lost it now. At lunch, while we sat together minding our business, two guys came up and made fun of us, eating our food, and even threw it at us. I can see the anger in Marcus's eyes. He grumbles, "Back off." One of the guys heard him. "What was that, rookie? I can't hear." And then Marcus interrupted him by kicking his knee. He broke it, and He broke it through the opposite side, and he fell screaming in pain as Marcus grabbed him by the shirt and stared at him with his eyes of rage. When I say back off, it means back the fuck off. That's what he said. I see the students in the cafeteria staring at us, and I immediately grabbed Marcus and ran off to the library. I look at him and asked, "Are you crazy? What are you bragging about? You were supposed to be my brother, and I have your back like you did when you shot our father." I stopped him and whispered, "Shush, dude. I'm sorry, but that was in the past. I want to move on. From that. I'm not a violent person like you are." He just glares at me, saying in a serious tone, "Who saved you from Dad from breaking that vase in my house?" "You, but shut up. Who even helped you from the last bully you were upset about?" I sighed. "Marcus, I didn't mean for you to be death. Who helped you every single day with your stupid trouble?" I said, looked down, rubbing my arm. "You." Marcus said, "Exactly. I helped you because you're my fucking brother, and I'm the only one you got to protect you, take care of you, because I love you since we were kids. You are all I have, but you need me." And then he walked away. You see, I killed my dad out of desperation because my brain saw no other way to save my brother. Him. He was something else. He didn't hesitate to use violence as a first resort rather than a last one. He was the one that shoots first, asks questions later type of guy. I think you get what I'm trying to say here. That boy seemed like he did want the best for you, but he clearly had problems and trauma that he obviously wasn't able to cope with in the best way, like you did, of course. He wanted what was best for himself, sure. Now I know you're wondering how he got locked up in the mental hospital for 10 years. Well, given everything you said and about how he, hurt that kid in such a terrible way, I can kind of assume, but by all means, if you don't mind sharing, go on. Trust me, I don't mind, and trust me, that isn't the worst thing he did. I overheard my foster dad and Marcus arguing that Marcus was so ungrateful and rude towards the family. And I gotta tell you, I don't blame Griffin, but I think the words he said might have triggered him. It was midnight. While I was asleep, I felt Marcus shook me awake, and after he did, he whispered to me, "Get up and let's go." I grunted and rubbed my eyes as I was really tired. Naturally, it was midnight. Go? Where are we going? Then I froze when I saw Marcus pulling out Griffin's gun. And he smiled softly as he answered to me, "Hunting." I got started and said, "Marcus, what the hell? Just shush. Don't worry about it. I got it now, so come on." He interrupted me and grabbed me by the arm before I could even retort. We snuck out of the house. After 5 minutes away from home, sorry, after 50 minutes away from home, I asked where we were going, and he just shushed me. And we snuck into a modern house, which I don't know who the house belonged to, but when we reached it, we went inside and went to someone's bedroom. There was a man sleeping in bed. Father Mandel, a child molester from the orphanage, who I later found out molested Marcus in his past. Marcus told me to find something to tie him up, and I saw. I wasn't sure what we were going to do. That's a lie. I knew. I just didn't want to accept it. We taped him to the bed tightly, and we came in both sides of the bed, him on one side, me on the other, and Marcus suddenly punched him in the face. And he said, "Wake the fuck up." As Father Mandel woke up, he started to wonder what was going on, and he started to struggle and muffles under the tape on his mouth so no one could hear. Marcus slightly smirks and shook his head. Father, good to see you. Now, I know what you're thinking. My children, what is the meaning of this? Well, this is what we call revenge. And I got confused from the word we. Why do I have to be involved in this situation? I watched Marcus grab the saw and gently place it on Mandel's chest. He said, "Now, you remember the day you said that you gave me your blessings after you harassed me back at Foster, and I should give you mine the next time I see you. Well, here's my blessing to you, Father." He had the saw on his right forearm and starts cutting it off. While I was standing there, frozen in fear and sweating, I was so terrified of what I was seeing. I was so unbelievably terrified that I just was standing there doing nothing. I felt like I was going to throw up as I hear him screaming at the top of his lungs after Marcus pulled the arm off. With a wide smile, he said to him, "This here is your dirty, ugly touching hand. You even said that God doesn't like ugliness. This is what you fucking get, you bastard." He smacked him with his arm and drops it down. Then he pulls out the gun and handed it to me. "Finish it off," he said. I looked at the gun, shaking, and then I looked back at Marcus. "No, I'm not a part of this." "Oh, yes you are," he snapped. "You want this man to get away for what he did, huh? No. Put him out of his misery." My eyes were tearing up, and I whimpered softly, saying, "I won't do it." He just glared at me silently, and then he aimed the gun at the man and shot him 3 times. A loud bang filled my ears and made me jump. He grabbed my hand, and we immediately ran off. As we got home, I threw up in the kitchen sink, while Marcus had the nerve to tell me that I was pathetic. I snapped at him and called him sick. He told me to quiet down and that I would wake up everyone. I ran to him and yelled, "What don't you realize that you're doing? Oh, it was fine for what you did in the past, for you shooting our actual father, but now I'm getting blamed? That was different. You forced me to go. You forced me to try and do this. No. I'm your goddamn brother, damn it. No, you're my problem, you soft fuck." That one really hurt me. Then Griffin interrupted the argument. He was worried, asking us what we were doing. Marcus just told him that it was none of his business. Griffin noticed the blood on our shoes and shirts, and then saw how terrified I looked. He wanted to help us, but Marcus just walked past him. He grabbed his arm to stop him, but my brother immediately pulls out the gun and aimed it at him and yells, "Don't fucking touch me!" I couldn't stand it anymore. I ran at Marcus and tackled him to the floor, and we fought as I tried to take the gun away from him. Linda, Jasmine, heard the noise and came down trying to stop us. So did Griffin. Marcus shot the gun into the sea. We got away from him. He aimed the gun at me, looking at me crazily. "Prick, I should kill you right here and now." I yelled, like I do it. "You said that I'm all you got in the family? You're gonna take me away?" I guess I got him there, because he just froze. And I think someone must have heard the gunshot back at Mandel's house, just because the police came in the area. And we eventually turned Marcus into them. Mason. I know. It's a messed up story. All I know is that you've done the best that you can, given your past. Honestly, I'm very proud of you. Not many people can recover from situations like this. I've seen it happen time and time again, both with personal patients and in the past. They go through traumatic situations like this, end up all messed up, and they become no worse than the situation that they were raised up in. But you managed to turn it around, and I'm happy that you did. But I do have a question. Do you love your brother? I don't know. It's confusing sometimes, you know? We're polar opposites. Well, hey, I'm pretty sure that it's all over now. You're a good man, Mason. Oh, I see that our time is done. Oh, right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Hall. I need to get that off my chest. Anytime. So, what are you going to do now? I'm off to see my brother. Are you sure that's a good idea? Yeah. I feel a bit better now, and I think I can finally confront it. Alright. If you ever need to chat again, my door is always open. Later that day, Mason made his way to the mental hospital where his brother was. Is he okay? Messy as usual. Let me see. Can I see him? Yeah, right this way. The guard takes Mason to Marcus's cell. Mark, you got a visitor. Little brother. Been a long time. How are you? I'm fine. You? Peachy. You know, I was wondering when you were going to show up. So, got your facts straight. Apparently not. Hold on. Now, you know you're not going to leave me here. I know the kind heart in your chest. I'm your brother. No. You're my problem. I can't keep looking after you. Be involved in shit if you're like this. I'm done being your puppet. You're not leaving. Watch me. You need me, Mason. You fucking need me. No, I don't. As I said, you're a problem. With the shit you put me through, I don't need any more problems in my life. Goodbye, Marcus.